member of the Oklahoma delegation, Kevin Hearn, and of course Ben Klein and Byron Barnes for their leadership in producing something that's courageous. And we have to have solutions for a nation that matches the size of our problems. And I think there are some people who, if they're honest, they look at this and say our financial situation is like the Titanic and they've given up hope. And what this budget is telling the American people, and thank you to those of you who have shown us that within 7 years we'll be courageous. There is hope. We are a ship that's taking on water. And we've got to stop being a Congress that keeps handing out spoons to solve the taking on of water. If you look at our overspend this year, it's about 1.5 trillion. If you go back to 1983, which is 40 years ago, that's the size of our gross national debt just 2 generations ago. Think of where you're at in 1983. Think about the optimism. Think about watching the Dukes of Hazzard, whatever. That sets a mood for you to remember how fast and furious we've fallen from a heightened state, where the size of 200 years of gross national debt in 1983 was 1.4 trillion, and this year we're going to overspend by that amount. And we have to have people that are willing to put their personal self-interest, their political interest aside, and put the country's best interest ahead. And this budget says we can do it. It's not just the 31 trillion. It's what the U.S. Treasury report keeps talking about, and everybody keeps burying their head in the sand. We talk about the gross national debt, but we forget the unfunded obligation element. And this budget talks about all of it. And when you add the unfunded obligation, and the U.S. Treasury report last year says if you take the unfunded obligations, Medicare, Social Security, what we owe veterans, federal employee pensions, and you add plus the 31.5 trillion, it's 124 trillion. And if you want to get flush with the house again, everybody that's a taxpayer write a check for $1 million. Another way of analyzing the U.S. Treasury report says it's 86% of all wealth in America. Everybody, take all of your fixed assets, write a check to get flush with the house, you'll have 15% left. We have to have solutions to match the size of our problem. And liberals and moderates are learning the game of giving away free candy. It's good politics. The health of our nation says we are choking. We are unhealthy. We are facing heart disease, we're facing tooth decay, and we got to start buying vegetables. We won't have a country left. Thank you to those men and women that are standing here going to move this agenda forward, because they understand it's time to have serious conversations for serious people to secure the blessing of liberty for our kids and their grandkids.